Welcome back, guys. So we have a 13 Jeep Patriot. We need to get behind this bumper to pop this dent out. So what you need, these poppers, retaining clips as some of you may call them. There's poppers up here, there's poppers underneath, there, and across the bottom. And then here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right up there. You see it? Right up in there, up into the rear fender. You need to take out the, what is it? 9/32 screws. So we'll start with those. I'll get all these off. And as far as the poppers go, you can either use a popper tool like this. I don't know what they call them, trim removal tool or something. Get in both sides and carefully. That one didn't release the way it's supposed to, but it still came out. Or you can use a flat screwdriver to get in and pry out the center. Sometimes it's hard to get them started, and these are very weak, so try not to break them. I'm actually going to use this popper tool to get in there too. And that's how we're going to remove this bumper. The other option to get in behind here, I think I might have enough room. I'm going to remove the tail light. Again, we have poppers here and here, and then this should pull straight back. It's going to be sitting in the fender rear quarter with some pins here. So once I pull this out, we're going to pull it straight back. Now you see here, here's the little studs. They're plastic too, so you got to pull straight back on them. And they rest in the rear quarter in those little slots, but are also plastic. So be very careful when you're doing this. Now we can either turn these sockets and pull those out, but all I really need to do is get behind here to push this. So don't really need to move it, but I'm going to. So first of all, get in there, turn it counterclockwise. Yep. And then you got that out. Same for the other. Careful, you don't want to break anything. There we go. Okay, so now this is out of my way. And I actually do not need to remove the bumper, but if you were, like I said, you have just that screw here, and then undo this one, and this one, and then all the poppers, and carefully pry out on the bumper here. So I don't think I need to do that for this one, so I'm not going to. But as I said, everything needs to be careful. Be careful on everything. Don't want to break anything. What I'm gonna do is, now that I can fit my hand in behind there, I'm going to use a towel or something to carefully push this out once I heat it up with a heat gun. So what we're gonna start doing, I'm not gonna show you the whole process, but basically I'm not plugged in. All right, so I'm gonna heat up the outside area, and that's also gonna heat up the inside area so I can get it fully evenly heated up. And I'm not gonna push it until it's ready to go. I'm gonna push right in here, and I'm probably gonna have to hold it in place, and it's not gonna pop up perfectly. I'm gonna have to massage it, heat it up and massage it and hold it in place until it cools down and it's back in the right spot. All right, I'm gonna heat it up. Keep it moving. You don't wanna bake any certain spot that shouldn't be overly cooked because you'll crack the paint. Keep it moving. It has to be all even so that it pops out the best that it can. If you just sit here, it's not gonna pop out over there. Make sure you get the inner spot where that crease has to be, that line has to be rebuilt when it comes out. So you gotta make sure everything's evenly heated up. Now I need my other hand to go ahead and start pushing on it. Yeah, you can see that's initially pushed out pretty good. There's some paintwork and scratches to be sanded out if the dealer wants it. A lot of times this is going to be creased, so heat it up lightly and just kind of push it in a little bit from here. But that actually came out pretty good, and it's resisting sinking back in. A little bit low right here, so I can massage that a little bit. But initially, that's looking pretty decent. Yeah, here's good. I like that. This is creased up here, so that needs some work. And then right here probably needs heated up again and pushed in. But you gotta let that sit for a minute. Let it cool down before you work on it more. Right now I'm holding this spot right here. If you feel like you're pushing really hard and it's rebounding as soon as you let go, it's probably not heated up enough. What you're trying to do is heat it up enough, push it into place where you want it, and then just keep pressure there so that it doesn't sink back in before it cools down. At this point, I think I'm a winner on this side of it, and let that sit for a little bit. Yeah, that feels pretty good. And then we'll move to this spot right here. All right, this side, I know there's a scratch there. Could probably get it cleaned up if I wanted to. But I just heated up from this side and just pushed it down a little bit. Held it in place for a minute. It's actually feeling pretty smooth. Now, do we try to release the pressure up here a little bit? Maybe smooth this out from hot on top. Pretty well creased. Almost massage it down a little bit. All right, when you go to reinstall the tail light, slip it in. There's only one way to get it in. Then turn it a quarter turn. Make sure it's locked in and lightly test it. Make sure it doesn't turn anymore. Those are ready. Now all you gotta do, pick it up, line it up, make sure your cords are going in correctly, which it's not hard to mess up. And then line up your balls here and just make sure everything's lined up and push it straight back. Pop it in. Make sure it's all even around. Then you can reinstall these guys. All you got to do, that's your base for the retaining clip. Push that in there. Then when you slide the middle in, it expands and locks it in place. That's it. Do it for the bottom one. And we're done with that. Yeah. And then any of the other things that you pulled out, like that one there, I gotta put him back in if I'm gonna not have to take off the bumper. And make sure you don't leave any of them laying down around, because we pulled a few out already along the bottom. So now we're done with this dent, and guess that's it. So I'll see you in the next one. Any questions? Like I said, sorry I don't have to take the bumper off, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, and that relieves the inner lining here and frees up the edge of the bumper. And then just gently pull this out. There's going to be a clip rail inside, bumper retainer, and carefully, maybe sometimes you lift up a little bit just to take tension off of it. You don't want to break the clips off in the bumper, because then you got to replace the bumper. So just carefully pry it back. And assuming you have all the clips out from along here and on the bottom, it's just going to start falling off. So if you only need to do one side, just take off 1/2 and you can pull it all out. If you need to take off the whole thing, pull off all the clips and do the same on this side. So see you guys on the next one. That's how you remove a tail light, pop a dent, and put it all back together. See you on the next one. Furthermore, if you want to actually get this thing perfect, you got to sand it all down, fill in cracks, respray it, Make it blue.